You are welcome to today's session. We have this question on the board to solve. We've solved the first part of the question by finding the value of a and b. And we had a to be equal to 9 and b to be equal to 7. Okay, the second aspect of the question is telling us to factorize the function f of x completely and find its zeros. So, because we found the value for a and b, we are going to write it all again, which is 2x cubed plus 9x squared plus 7x minus 6. Now, this is the function that you have. For you to be able to factorize this one, now you have to go by the division approach, and for you to be able to divide, you need to get a factor. So the factor that you are supposed to get, it should be such that when you equate the factor to be equal to 0, the variable will be equal to a certain number. That number, when you put it into the function, it should give you the function to be equal to what? 0. So we don't know that number yet. So what you are going to do is to, so usually you have to test it plus or minus 1, 2, 3, 4, till you get the number that will be able to satisfy f of x to be equal to 0. So maybe you can start with 1. So 1 here, 1 cube, 9 here, 1 square, 7, 1 minus 6. So this one will give you 1 times this, which is 2 here, times this, that's 9. Here, what do you have? Which is 7 minus that. So you can see that clearly the calculation over here is not giving you 0. All right. So then you move on to that is that of -1. But in exams, let's say that when you are solving it, you don't have to go through this one. What I'm doing over here. What I'm doing here is to help you understand how you will test the numbers. But you don't have to go through the process of testing for +1, -1, +2, -2. No. You have to be specific. And you don't have to even show working. Let's say that you did this as a rough work somewhere and you get to find out the number. You just put it in straight away. You don't have to go through what I'm doing here like this, okay? So let's look at that of -1. So here, that will give you -1 times this, which is like 2. Here, negative is positive times this, so you have 9. Here, it will give you -7, then you have 6. So this one, let's say, is 13, -13, -15, kind of. No. Yes, plus this. See that it's not giving you 0. All right. Then let's look at the 2 aspects. So you have 2 here. 2 cube. You are looking at the positive. And you have 9, you have 2 square, 7, 2 minus 6. Now this one will give you 8 times this, you have 16. This one will give you 4 times this, that will be 36. So then, I mean, I am not done yet, but when I look at it, this will be the only negative. When you subtract from it, you still see that it is not up to equal to what? 0. So let's look at the -2. So that will be 2 here. And -2 cube, then you have 9, -2 square, then you have plus 7, you have -2 minus 6. So here will be -8 times this, and that will be -16. Okay, and this one will be positive times this, so you have plus 36, and this will be -14, -6. So this will become -20 plus this one, so we have -36, and this positive 36. When you deduct, it will give you what? 0, meaning that it is the -2 that will make the function to be equal to 0. All right. So let's look at it. In a situation like this, how do you go about with it? Pardon me, I cannot find my duster. That's how come I'm using this one. So immediately you get to know the value, meaning that is 2, okay? So you can write negative 2 here. You test it out like 2 cube plus n 9. So you have like 2x squared. So like 2 squared. You have 7 like 2 like 6. This side will be 2 times like 8. For this one, you have to show working. Alright, times 4. Here will be like 14 like 6. This one will give you like 20 plus 36 like 16. When you put it together, you have 36 minus 36, and that gives you 0. So immediately you do that. Okay, now if you remember, what I said was that when you have, let's say, a plus x equal to 0, which is the factor, you equate it to 0. What it means is that if you want the value for a to become a equal to, then this one will move, they're giving you x. Sorry, we are looking for x rather, so let's make it x plus a. You have x, then this one will move, they're giving you like what? A. So the understanding from this is that if this one x is equal to, that is negative 2, to bring it back, it will become x plus what? 2, and this is the factor. So this is the factor that you're going to use to divide this function. Okay. Now you have x plus 2 dividing, that is 2x cubed plus 9x squared plus bx. So the b is 7 minus 6. X will divide this one, giving you 2x squared. Then to multiply to give you 2x cubed. Then the same thing will multiply this, giving you plus 4x squared. Alright, then you subtract. When you subtract, the negative will affect this one plus that, giving you 0. The negative will affect this one plus this, and that will give you, it will reduce it to now 5x squared. Then you bring the 7. Okay, the x will come and divide it, giving you plus 5x. I hope you are following. And to multiply, you have 5x squared. To multiply this, then you have, that is plus 10x. Then you subtract the same thing, negative plus the positive 0. The negative will affect what you have over here. So at the end of the day, it will make it negative 3x. Then you bring the next 6. Then it will come and divide this one again. You have neg 3. So the neg 3 will multiply this, giving you neg 3x. The same neg 3 will multiply this, giving you neg 6. Then you subtract. So negative is positive plus this, that will be 0. Negative is also positive, and that will give you that is positive plus this, so you have 0. Now when you get to this side, you now have x plus 2. All right, then you have I need space, my board is quite small. X plus 2. Then you have 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. So this is what you are going to break it down further. All right, so already when you have x equal to, x plus 2 as one of the factors, you equate it to 0. You have x equal to like 2. So this is one of the zeros. But we need to break this 1, 2 down so that we get the other zeros. And that is what we are going to focus on right now. So let me clean this side. You have 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. Now with what you have over here, it's a quadratic expression. So they are in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. What you do is that the coefficient of the x squared will multiply the c. So in this case, here is 2 to multiply the 3. That will give you negative 6. So you find factors of 6, which is 1, 2, 3, 6. All right. Now, out of these factors, you are to choose two numbers that when you multiply, it will give you the product of the 2 and the 6. But when you add or subtract, it will give you the middle term. So when you go by 2 times 2, it will give you positive 6. But we want a negative 6. And 2 plus 3 will give us a positive 5x over here. So even though it is meeting this one, it will not satisfy the product. So we are not going by that one. Now what about negative 1 times 6? That will give us our negative 6. Negative 1 plus the 6 will give us positive 5. So we are going to use these two numbers to replace the middle term. Now this is how you will write it. You have 2x squared, then you have plus 6x minus x, so that when you subtract, you have your 5. Okay, minus 3. So you put first 2 in bracket, last 2 also in brackets. There's x here, x here. You factorize x out. 2 here, 6 here. Common, you have 2. So what will be here is x plus 3. So that if you want it back, 2x times x will give you 2x squared. Alright. Then 2x times 3 will give you 6x. Please, I hope you are following. Then this same thing, usually that's what I tell people, you have to repeat it here, x plus 3. Okay, then you ask yourself, which number is that when you multiply by x, it will give you negative x, and the same number when you multiply by 3 to give you negative 3, which is negative 1. So it's as though you are factorizing this one. But I tell people to write this one because obviously at the end of the day, what is inside here must be equal to what is inside here as well. So since they are the same, you write one of them, which is x plus 3. Then you pick the end, 2x minus 1. So when you are done, this, you equate it to be equal to what? 0. Okay, so you have x plus, let me do it here, x plus 3 equal to 0. You have x equal to negative 3 as 1. And you have 2x minus 1 equal to 0. You have 2x equal to 1. So you divide both sides by 2. You have x equal to what? Half. So originally, when the question asked us to factorize completely, we factorize it. You can bring this one to also here. Okay, so you can, let's say that the factorization is x plus 2 here. All right, then you have x plus 3. Then you have 2x minus 1. This is the complete factorization. And when they told you to find the zeros, this is how you go about it. So you write therefore the zeros of the function. You have, that is negative 3 comma negative 2, and you have dot the half. And this is how you go about with it.